In a 4-wire manufactured home system, the ground wire and neutral must be connected to separate bars. The ground wire must be connected to the grounding bar, while the neutral wire must be connected to the neutral bar. This separation is crucial for safety and proper system function. The ground wire's primary purpose is to provide a low impedance path for fault currents to return to the source, allowing overcurrent protection devices like circuit breakers or fuses to quickly trip and clear the fault. This minimizes the risk of electrical shock and fire. The neutral wire, on the other hand, serves as the current-carrying conductor that completes the circuit, returning the unbalanced load current back to the source. Connecting the ground wire and neutral wire to the same bar can create a hazardous situation. If a fault occurs, the fault current could flow through the neutral wire, potentially overloading it and causing it to overheat. This can damage equipment, create a fire hazard, and compromise the safety of the electrical system. The National Electrical Code, or NEC, specifically requires the separation of grounding and neutral conductors in most electrical systems, including those in manufactured homes. This requirement is in place to prevent the problems associated with combining these conductors. The NEC provides detailed guidelines on how to properly ground and bond electrical systems to ensure safety and minimize the risk of electrical hazards. Grounding and bonding are essential concepts in electrical safety. Grounding refers to connecting the electrical system to the earth, providing a reference point for voltage and a path for fault currents. Bonding involves connecting all non-current carrying metal parts of the electrical system together to create a low impedance path for fault currents. This ensures that all metal parts are at the same potential, reducing the risk of electric shock. In a manufactured home, the grounding system typically consists of a grounding electrode conductor connected to a grounding electrode, such as a ground rod or a metallic water pipe. The grounding electrode conductor must be sized appropriately based on the size of the service entrance conductors. The grounding electrode provides a connection to the earth, allowing fault currents to flow back to the source. The bonding system in a manufactured home typically includes bonding all metal parts of the electrical system together, such as the metal frame of the home, metal conduit, and metal enclosures. Bonding jumpers are used to connect these metal parts together, creating a continuous low impedance path for fault current. The size of the bonding jumpers must be based on the size of the circuit conductors. It's important to note that the NEC has specific requirements for grounding and bonding near manufactured homes, which may differ from the requirements for other types of electrical systems. These requirements are designed to address the unique characteristics of manufactured homes, such as their mobility and their potential for exposure to different grounding conditions. When wiring a main meter disconnect on an electric cooperative's pole for a 4-wire manufactured home system, it is crucial to follow the NEC guidelines and local codes, if applicable, for grounding and neutral connections. Firstly, ensure that the grounding electrode conductor is properly sized and connected to a suitable grounding electrode. Secondly, connect the ground wire from the manufactured home to the grounding bar in the meter disconnect enclosure. Thirdly, connect the neutral wire from the manufactured home to the neutral bar in the meter disconnect enclosure. Fourthly, maintain a separate and distinct connection for the ground and neutral wires, avoiding any common connection points. Fifthly, verify that all bonding connections are properly made, ensuring that all non-current carrying metal parts are bonded together. Sixthly, inspect the entire wiring system to ensure that there are no accidental connections between the ground and neutral conductors. Seventhly, test the grounding system to verify its effectiveness in providing a low impedance path for fault currents. Eighthly, document all grounding and bonding connections for future reference and maintenance. Ninthly, consult with a qualified electrician or electrical inspector if you have any questions or concerns about the proper wiring of the system. Tenthly, always prioritize safety when working with electrical systems and follow all applicable safety procedures and precautions. Failure to properly ground and bond the electrical system in a manufactured home can have serious consequences, including electric shock, fire, and equipment damage. Therefore, it is essential to follow the NEC guidelines and local codes, and to consult with a qualified electrician if you are unsure about any aspect of the wiring process. Remember that electrical codes and regulations can vary depending on the location, so it is always best to check with the local authorities to ensure that you are following the correct procedures. In addition to the NEC requirements, there may be local codes or regulations that apply to the wiring of manufactured homes in your area. It is important to be aware of these local codes and to comply with them when installing or modifying the electrical system. Local codes may address specific issues or concerns that are relevant to the local environment, such as soil conditions or weather patterns. They may also provide additional requirements or clarifications that are not covered in the NEC. To find out about local codes, you can contact your local building department or electrical inspector. They can provide you with information on the applicable codes and regulations and answer any questions you may have. It is important to note that even if there are no local codes in your area, you are still responsible for following the NEC requirements. The NEC is a widely adopted standard that provides a comprehensive set of rules and guidelines for electrical installations. Following the NEC can help ensure the safety and reliability of the electrical system in your manufactured home. When working with electrical systems, it is always important to prioritize safety. Electricity can be dangerous, and even a small mistake can have serious consequences. Before starting any electrical work, be sure to disconnect the power to the circuit you will be working on. Use a voltage tester to verify that the power is off before touching any wires or components. Wear appropriate personal protective equipment, such as safety glasses and insulated gloves. Work in a well-lit area, and avoid working in wet or damp conditions. If you are not comfortable working with electricity, it is best to hire a qualified electrician to do the work for you. A qualified electrician has the knowledge, skills, and experience to safely and correctly install or repair electrical systems. They can also ensure that the work is done in compliance with the NEC and local codes. When hiring an electrician, be sure to check their credentials and references. Ask about their experience working with manufactured homes and their familiarity with the NEC requirements for these systems. Get a written estimate before the work begins, and make sure that the estimate includes all labor and materials. Remember that electrical work is not a do-it-yourself project. It is important to hire a qualified professional to ensure that the work is done safely and correctly. By following these guidelines, you can help ensure the safety and reliability of the electrical system in your manufactured home.